Hello, and welcome to this webinar that explains possible modifications and waivers for the High Performance Certification Program. This is part of a series of webinars regarding the High Performance Certification Program for the Department of Local Affairs. The intent of this webinar is to give some examples of projects that might be eligible for a modification or waiver. However, every project is different and should be evaluated as such. Let's go over possible modifications to the HPCP requirements that can be approved by DOLA. Just a reminder that the goal is to achieve the highest level of certification possible. However, a project may request a modification of the requirement to a lower certification level. Or, if after the project scope is evaluated by completing the appropriate checklist and LEED or Green Globe certifications are determined not to be possible, then a modification for an alternative third-party verification, such as building commissioning, may be requested. Because the goal is to achieve high-performance buildings, third-party commissioning is another option to ensure maximum energy efficiency. Simply put, building commissioning is a process that can be undertaken to verify that building systems are operating the way they were designed and installed to ensure maximum energy efficiency. Again, the commissioning process should start early in the project's conception. There's a fact sheet on the DOLA High Performance Certification Program webpage that more thoroughly explains commissioning. Let's review some other possible modifications. Another example of a modification is if a project has less than 5,000 square feet of conditioned space for human occupancy. One example of this is a fire station where the only conditioned space is the living quarters and a small office space with the majority of the building square footage used for vehicle bays. In this case, a modification for building commissioning could be appropriate to ensure air quality and the overall energy efficiency of the building systems. Now let's review possible waivers, where projects meet the HPCP applicability criteria described earlier, but are waived from meeting the HPCP. Projects that meet the HPCP applicability criteria may be waived from the HPCP for various reasons. In a building renovation, if there aren't any major upgrades to energy or lighting systems, and the project scope is very limited, then a project is a good candidate for a waiver. Another project example where a waiver could be granted is a storage building where the conditioned spaces are heated simply to keep equipment from freezing. In many cases, savings from more efficient building practices provide a return on investment within a few years. However, if the verification costs are not going to be recovered from decreased operational costs within a 15-year time period from construction, then a waiver would be possible. In this case, an accredited professional must verify in writing that the renovation incorporated HPCP goals to the highest possible level. If you have any questions about whether your project might qualify for a modification or waiver, do not hesitate to contact your regional manager or Ann Miller at DOLA in the Division of Local Government. We understand it can be a confusing process to undergo, and we are here to support you. Visit the website to see the other resources we have available regarding this subject. We hope this webinar was helpful.